How we doing today, folks? Welcome to Just Convos, Season 4. Today I have Mr. Kenneth Thompson here, better known as Ken Rock. Today we're going to talk about his journey through Philadelphia, and it's going to be a nice interview, folks, so please buckle up and get ready for the ride. Again, thank you for coming today, sir.
Appreciate you.
All right. First, I asked everybody, did you go to school in Philadelphia in the public school system?
Yes, I started off Ethel Island, right there, my elementary school. Middle school Rhodes, high school, I went to Roxborough for like a year, I believe. No, I went to Mashbond for like a year. I went to Roxborough for like a month. I went to Mashbond for like a year, got kicked out of Mashbond for a situation we could get into it. Then I went to Strawberry Mansion, my high school. Then I wound up getting locked up and I graduated from Glen Mills.
Okay.
Glen Mills School for Boys, yeah, that's my alma mater.
That's your alma mater, Glen Mills.
Yeah, Glen Mills School for Boys. I got my diploma there.
You play any sports and stuff while you was there?
Man, I ran cross country,
Okay.
track, and wrestled.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, you seem like a real cerebral man. You played chess and anything like that, or you just always a reading man, thinking man?
I don't play chess, man.
No, you don't?
No, and
Seems like you played real life chess at some point.
yeah, I think it's an advantage and disadvantage that I don't. I thought about that a lot. I learned how to play a little bit, like how to move the pieces when I was young, when I was working in the barbershop with my uncle.
Mm-hmm.
However, being inside, being inside of prison, I seen how chess can also occupy the majority of your time.
Oh, so it's like social media.
Yeah, like social media. It's like it could be a gift and a curse. Yeah, I seen people think on the board, but not think in life.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You like chess in real life. You don't got time for chess on the board.
If I'm playing chess, I don't know if I'm playing chess and checkers. I won't know until I, you know what I mean, check me.
Till you get there.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
So describe your childhood growing up in Philadelphia. What was it like?
All right, for me personally, I grew up in the Strawberry Mansion section in North Philadelphia. A section that's dear to my heart, right? I grew up not understanding the importance of my family within the neighborhood. I just had a family within it. I got a father. My father got over 13 kids, multiple kids, mothers, that lived on the bottom side of Strawberry Mansion. And
what would the bottom side be for the people who watch?
Well, he lived on 32nd and Cumberland Street.
Okay.
And that's like sort of I would say not the bottom, the middle of Strawberry Mansion. He lived in the heartbeat of Strawberry Mansion, which is Cumberland, Huntington, and York. Mm-hmm. My mother lived on the top side of Strawberry Mansion, which is Lehigh Avenue. So a lot of my upbringing was on 29th and Lehigh Avenue, and a bulk of it also was on Huntington, Cumberland, and York Street as well, which gave me a unique relationship building within the section. Okay. Because I was able to walk from Lehigh down to Cumberland Street.
That's random, no problem.
Yeah, without the problems, because I had friends. Now, if you ask somebody from Cumberland Street today, they might not even remember that I'm from Lehigh.
How old are you?
I'm 41 years old.
41. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a cool upbringing. I mean, it was good. Like, far as climbing trees, jumping on the back of buses.
So let's just say you were born in 81 then, I think.
82.
82. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're born in 82. So the Strawberry Mansion you remember, is it pre-crack or during crack? Crack. So you remember the crack epidemic? Because I know at one point I was told when I was younger. I'm 40. I'll be 43 in a couple, 44 or 43, one of them ages. You were Strawberry Mansion one time was like a neighborhood where people really did want to move into. Like they had the big houses and everything, and it was like one of the neighborhoods. And this is probably like in the 60s. It was like a Mount Airy before the Mount Airy. So I know at one point that was really a neighborhood. Yeah. So did you ever get to experience that part of Strawberry Mansion?
I wouldn't say I got to experience that part of it. I got to experience the community based of it, right?
Okay.
From my father.
Okay.
From my grandfather. My father always do like block parties, community events, and things of that nature. And like with me, my dad had a lot of property, so I grew up basically in stores in Strawberry Mansion. Like, me and my older brother, we used to work in the store. So when the crack epidemic and all that hit, all the hustlers used to hang in the stores. So we had pinball machines and games in there. Okay. So my dad was a person who we worked. Like we worked. Like. Like we stripping down banisters 6 in the morning. Like we worked.
It wasn't none that sitting around playing these video games.
No, we worked.
Weekend meant work.
Yeah, we work. Like I know how to work.
Yeah.
I mean, so At one point, my brother, like, he got away from my dad and he went into the streets. And he wound up getting some money and things of that nature, but he had got killed. He got killed in 1997. He was 19 years old, I was 15 years old. Okay. I would say that was the most, that was a very traumatic event for me because I lost my older brother. And my older brother.
Was he like your hero?
He was like, he was like my man. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
I learned how to dress from him, walk from him, like talk from him. Like carry myself. I carry myself the way my older brother taught me how to carry myself.
Gotcha.
Back then, you feel what I'm saying? So when he got killed or whatever, I'm 15, and this is
you in high school. This is
me in high school. This is me in 10th grade.
So this is Strawberry Mansion, or this is?
He got killed. I was still at Masbomb.
At Masbomb, okay.
And I all my trouble began when my brother got killed.
Copy.
Before my brother got killed, I was more so just cool, ran away, you know what I mean? Hanging out, ducking from my dad, you know what I mean? My dad come through the truck. He had a white F-150 come through. Rock, you go your dad. Ooh, I duck. But you know what I mean? Then I might have ducked my dad for a month, 2 at a time. And next thing I know, one of my homies been over his crib. Because what I come to realize is that what I didn't want, they wanted.
Yeah,
which was a father. You feel what I'm saying? Right. My dad was a father. So when my brother got killed, it was just like, I always break it down to the fact that as black families, growing up in traumatic neighborhoods like Strawberry Mansion, North Philly, West Philly, whatever we want to call it, how do we deal with death? Death is so relevant, you know what I mean? But how do we as families deal with it? And that's what I had to study over the years, is that we all grieved in different spaces.
Yes, correct.
Right? My father grieved differently because he had just lost his father. My grandfather was murdered in 1995.
And 2 years later, he had to deal with burying a son.
2 years later, his son was murdered. Okay. Right? And he may have been at the time, like, my dad probably was my age. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thinking back on it.
So two of the biggest losses happened in his 40s. Yeah.
So he dealt with it his way. My sisters dealt with it in their way. I dealt with it in my way. And my way was 15 years old, knowing who killed my brother, knowing that they around the corner, knowing that knowing the pressures of being in the neighborhood
when
somebody killed your brother. And really being 15 years old and not really being a person of that nature. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, well, not to cut you off, but just to kind of show you where it lines up on the graph of life. Grew up at Marvine and Diamond. So, and my father comes from Francisville. So Francisville was my playground personally. That was like, I go there, walk from wherever to wherever, from anywhere from in between Fairmount, Girard, Broad Street back, because that was how big the family was, Hankins family. We get the Marvine and Diamond. It's different now. It's not the same. Yeah. Now we are the prey. You know what I mean? We the, you know what I mean? We the one everybody's looking at. But my dad instilled in us, A, you don't let nobody take nothing from you. B, if they take something from you, you better come back in here looking like they try to take something from you. And worse than that, though, was because my dad had some paper. So we always had the shit that made them come out, that made the guys come out the projects on 11th and Diamond and say, what Mill and Reef got today? And every day we on the steps like, y'all ain't taking this. And we would be out there every day, like getting it in, you know what I'm saying? To the point where the bigger ones came. So, whatever, but it was funny how your pop can put that type of confidence in you, like, I fight all y'all, it don't matter. And it was like having that and then losing it by the time I was 8 was a big difference. Not my dad dying, but the whole family structure breaking up. So again, like you said, everybody has that traumatic experience that make them somebody they're not. Yeah. So when I veer off the road that he made for me, it's because of traumatic experience. Yeah. But go ahead, not to cut.
But to back what you said, like that's how he died. He stood on that. My grandfather had a saying to never let nobody take nothing from you, right? So I'm 13 years old when my grandfather get killed. And my grandfather had worked for like this crane operation company or something, like say a mill yard or something. And he was working there for so long that, blacks back then wasn't going to banks.
No, they didn't cash and everything.
Yeah, so he'd be the one to get all the checks, take them to the bank account, bank, get them cash, and hand them out.
Cash, yep.
So, somebody lined him up and tried to rob him. But his thing was,
they're not taking this.
Don't never let nobody take nothing from you. And that robbery turned into a murder. That's how my grandfather got murdered, right? So this is instilled, like, nobody taking nothing from you. You feel what I'm saying? So just to piggyback off of what you're saying, like growing up with that mentality that this is how my grandfather died, And it was also like a sense of like proudness behind that as a family, right?
Yeah.
But like as time went on, I started to understand like if my grandfather was this like, you know, like this person who was community based, he was a person who was always looking out for the next person and just wanted to be this person, come up from Georgia at a young age and just build a community, right?
Yeah.
Or be intricate.
He believed in his people.
Right?
Yeah.
Did he die because he didn't let nobody take nothing from him? Or did he understand the responsibility that he had having people money in his pocket?
Correct. So
Imagine
maybe he wasn't moving
back,
wrong. Yeah, maybe he wasn't moving.
Yeah, to you saying you can't pay your rent or take care of your daughter this week because I let somebody take something from you that I was responsible for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I kind of flip that now to that. Like I'm responsible for other people, and I can't let somebody trick me out of that space.
That trick bag is serious, man.
Yeah.
They will trick you out here, and it's crazy about getting tricked because in the neighborhoods we're from, it'll be the lower level ones that'll trick you. You know what I mean? It'll be the ones that like, man, it was a time like I used to be in your neighborhood, I owned the bar in there, and it would be people to come up there and tell me what I don't own because I owned it at 26 years old. That was unheard of in the bar business at that time, you know what I mean? And it wasn't no great, somebody dropped 40 bricks on me and no shit like that. I understood finance at a very young age, you know, just from the things that my pop taught me, you know, where of course if you grow up in a certain neighborhood, you're gonna venture into certain things and learn how you buy for oneself or two. That's just a part of life. But, you know, when you in these neighborhoods, these people make up these stories, man, and you'll listen to them like, and they'll say them so passionately. Like if you don't know the truth about what happened, like no, I really bought this shit. What the fuck you talking? No, such and such shit. They said, or a person who was related to the person who used to only come in. This is my people's bar. Like, no, it ain't. Like yo, I mean, fuck out of here if we crack you over your head in here. You know what I'm saying? But you know, all those little petty moments though. I had a partner at that time in the bar who was 10 years older than me, just came home from the feds. And mind you, he didn't come over from the feds with no millions of dollars, no shit like that.
He just came home from the feds.
It was crack, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want the people to think, no.
Because you come home from the feds, I'm living proof. You just come home from the feds.
Yeah, come home, you just come home, you know what I'm saying? And he asked me one day, because somebody said something I didn't like, and I told him like, I'm gonna be on that nigga step tomorrow, 7 a.m., let that nigga know. He was like, so you gonna spend the rest of your time we own this bar on somebody's steps every day at 7 a.m.? And at the time, I'm like, huh? Like, what? And he like, yeah, like, get used to it. That motherfucker say something to you like that, what you mad for? You know he lying. You know he don't know what he talking about. I said, but the nerve of that mother. He was like, you worrying about a nothing ass nigga nerve? And I had to learn that shit though. So that's how I learned how to start to let a lot of shit roll off, you know. And then in business, man, like what I learned, everybody lying. Like in regular old business, whether it's real estate, music, any of this shit, man, like everybody lying, everybody trying to line you up. And sometimes you think like in the streets, because somebody gave you their word or their name, you think like it's honor in this. It's, you know, this is the thing. But then you realize like, no, the norm is that everybody's lying. It's like just like when they lied to you in the street, they might have gave you a phone book and thought you had a brick. It was just taped up real good. It's all a part of the game. It all happens, and that's what I had to learn. Like, you know, you shouldn't be trying to win. Like you trying to win, and they always say like you can't be down here in the grass playing and shit and reaching for the moon. You can't do both. You know what I mean? So you can't spend your life like this. You either gonna go like this and try to reach for the stars, or you're gonna go like this and stay down here playing the bullshit. Somebody say some shit that ain't true, you gotta let that shit go. Like it ain't that deep. It ain't that deep. He got a mouth, he gonna talk. You know what I'm saying? And then you know we're in some of them neighborhoods, if you don't address everything, now you consider weak. So it's like a catch-22, man. It's crazy. It's a thin line you have to walk out here that really sometimes if you're not mentally strong and know who you are as a man, you're in a trick bag.
And it's crazy because a situation like that happened recently with me. And it was like, initially I went there with him, you know what I'm saying? Then I had to double back and just, you know, understand who I was and what I was doing and what I'm about. And I believe I took the higher route. And I tried to help, you feel what I'm saying? But it ain't turning into that. However, what it is. But I feel like it's a very like thin line. And because like you say, you can be considered weak, but in the eyes of who?
In the eyes of who?
You feel what I'm saying? So that's what I got to check myself with.
Yep.
Weak in the eyes of who? Like somebody who does not matter, or somebody. I would be considered weak if I go back to prison or I go get killed over something stupid. For my kids, for my dad, for my mom, for my people, the community, people that believe in my actions. You know what I mean?
Doing. Your movement.
That's where I'd be considered weak.
We are a show and tell community.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing, the biggest responsibility gonna be in your back for the people that's watching you is like, yo, he came back home. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You know, because it's probably from the time you left. Because I know how this thing go in the streets. When you leave from the streets, everybody say, man, when such come back home, we lit again, we on again. And they don't know when such come home, such ain't on that no more. Like, well, not everybody. Some people go back to it, you know what I mean? But for the most part, it seems like from what I see of you and the vibe I'm getting from you is like, absolutely not. Like, I'm standing on this, you know, I'm standing on this positive, independent shit, and I'm gonna change. I'm gonna do my best to change this. You know, whatever God has for me in that will, that's what I'm gonna do. That's whatever God allows for me to do. I'm gonna spend the rest of my life trying to change this. Exactly. That's what I feel coming off you. Does it get stressful trying to maintain on that path?
I wouldn't say stressful. It get overwhelming, right? I feel like, cause it's not just the path, it's just life for me, because all this is new for me. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't been on Harry Avenue. This is my first time on Harry Avenue since I was like Roxborough. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So everything is new for me. Like just last year, I was learning how to open up a bank account. Just last year, I was learning how to use a credit card. I was learning how to order a hoagie from Wawa. Just last year.
At what age?
At 40. That was 40 then. You feel me when I came home? But
see, the fact that you ain't hold on to your pride. Like I know guys that hold on to their pride that can't count or read to this day.
Yeah.
But because they got such a voice, a lot of people in these communities bow down to them. And sometimes they the suckers. You'd be surprised how many people that's illiterate that really run neighborhoods. And when you see them somewhere where they got to read, you looking like, oh shit, he can't read. You know what I'm saying? Of course you've seen it. So it's a deep joint. But let's give them some of the splah.
Yeah.
So explain to me what it is like, cause like to me, you know, I read some of the stuff, and police say you the $6 million man. So tell me, so tell me what that lifestyle was like for the people that think, you know.
All right, so a lot of my like endeavors with like the streets and stuff was I used to like be in the music heavy, rapping and all that. Okay. So I used to know a lot of people. I used to meet a lot of people. And
I was a rapper, or you like on the label?
I rapped, and we had a label.
What was the name of it?
Well, I started, I don't know if you remember Diamond District.
Yeah, I remember Diamond
District. I was rapping with Diamond District when I was a young boy and all that. Diamond District, then we had started the Real Recognized Real Records. Then I had went on with down 18th and Burks. I did New Era, with New Era Entertainment Association. But I really just was like never, I feel like I was talented, very, very talented. A lot of people feel like I was talented, but I never had like the belief in that.
There was no money in rap back then. Like, let's be honest. Like, if you had money in the streets, you look at the rappers like, we don't want to go do that shit.
Yeah,
like,
it was just like
rap was a hobby at that point.
It was a hobby.
It was a hobby. I know what you're saying. And it's just because you only know what you have access to.
Yeah.
Who would have known? I didn't really know you got $10 an album until Master P. Like Master P, first, and I just got that from reading the article.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, oh shit. And when you start counting, I'm like, oh shit. So if I go platinum, it's $10 million. Like, you know what I'm saying? But pre that, like if we go back and this is the 90s, right? The early 90s, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, and it's Philly, so.
And you don't sell music.
Yeah, you don't really sell music in Philly. Somebody got to come rescue you and bring you out of Philly.
Funny thing about Philly, I'm gonna say this, and I mean, I'll say this because I was around the time, right? Because everybody say, fuck Ram Squad was this and that. Man, Ram Squad had this city on fucking smash. Everybody had that yellow tape. I mean, I'm not talking about what happened later on.
Oh, you talking about Operation Lock the City?
Yeah,
I know
that
you
yellow tape was everywhere. And I'm going to tell you, 1996, I was in the Blue Horizon. I wanted to see Nas perform. It Was Written, it just came out that summer. You know what I mean? 96, man. We was out there. Me and my players, we was out there. It was having it our way that year, right? So we out there, we enjoying it. But Ram Squad, even though we waiting to see Nas.
Pulled up in the Rangers.
they came out there, they killed that shit, man. And up jumped the Boogie Gang. That thing was crazy. And they threw a chick off the stage that got up there. Oh man, that thing was crazy, man. And you know, I think had Frank Bank probably not got killed, I think Philadelphia rap would have been different as far as the business of music. Independence in the business of music. Because I want to say they was moving units. They were really moving units. I mean, I remember the other guys before them, the the 10th and Oxford, 10th and
100X.
100X. You know what I mean? So, yeah, music was independent. It was just like, you know, at one point the guy Pud died, and you know, a lot of people died that people felt as though would have been the business part of the music. You know, but
that's what happened with the music scene. Like, not to go too deep in like with you, but I'm with
of
you
that,
of that era,
of that era,
that understanding that basically we just became a funnel for others cities because we didn't.
So what a Philadelphia cat do when they go out of town with work is what the places like New York did when they came here, or New Orleans, whoever came here and stole the writers and the talent and stole our
our sound.
Our sound,
and
our style, everything, man. Like, you know, I don't want to get too deep, and that's for another episode. We can do that on Patreon one day, but yeah, man, Philadelphia style and everything has been pillaged throughout this East Coast, down south, whatever you want to name it. But you know,
so they get back into it, basically like just, you know, being able to be. I've always been like an honest person. Like, like I never robbed a person a day in my life. Never lied nobody up a day in my life. Thing. That's not my thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm more so like, all right, I mess with you. I'm willing to go all the way for you.
Yeah, let's get good business.
Yeah. Good business. So at the time, like I was just able to touch work. You know what I mean? I was a person that
you had to connect.
Yeah, the work was here. I can go get it. You know what I'm saying? And I took, as time went on, I started taking responsibility for it. Situation happened or whatever. They ran in there. The house was 61 kilos in there. 61 kilos, some guns, some bread and all that. And they wound up finding like an old ID in there with my name on it. They wound up putting a warrant out for me. I went on a run in New York, everything. I wound up coming back, turning myself in. It was reasons. I can go into that if you want the reason why. Like that.
This is amazing. I don't know. Catch me if you can, but I mean, I guess something happened.
So me as a person, it's like I just always felt like I was always about more than myself. Like even then. So at the time, it was like
the pressure was coming on somebody else or something, or they were trying.
The pressure was on somebody else, but it was more so too about what I was willing to live and die for.
Gotcha.
Right, like. We talk about the 96s, right? And we talk about 96 in Philadelphia presented a lot of images for you to see.
A lot of money.
A lot of GS4s was out there.
A lot of money.
A lot of drop-top Jags was out there.
Yes, sir.
You feel what I'm saying? The Cadillac trucks first hit. We ain't seen them on a commercial. We seen them on the street first.
Spinning rims.
Right?
First time I seen them on Delaware Ave come out the club.
It wasn't on commercials.
It wasn't on Spreewells. No.
So we had a lot of images to believe that, like, a lot of aspirations to be that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I had those aspirations. Like I was in like street dreams. I made up like I had street dreams. You feel what I'm saying? Like so at that time, you know, I was at a point where I had already been shot up, already been like on deathbeds and all that. I got hit up. I didn't get hit up twice. I got shot in 2 different occasions. First time wasn't a hit up. Second time I got hit up, shot 4 times or whatever. And at that time it was like dudes dying left and right.
Very hot. And not to cut you off, but it kills me. See, back then though, the targets was intended because, hey, he getting money, I want his money. It was based on jealousy. Now, so jealousy still exists now, but the jealousy now it seems like it's for clout. And that's what confused me, because when people tell me Philadelphia wasn't like this, I don't know what Philadelphia they was living in.
Me neither.
Because 95, 96, hey man, it was go get your guns. Like it was a problem, go get your guns. Like it was a really go get your gun type town. Like, and for people not to understand it, I know that you wasn't where some of the places I happened to be at that time. So it makes me laugh when people say, now, you know, statistically, I see the numbers, and yes, I do see some of the senseless killing, and they have different type of machinery now. I mean, there was no switches and stuff like that back then, but people were still getting aired out. Now, I would say the killing was of a more older person and probably a more skillful person. But no, it was the same type of violence, you know, because I was
it was even more violent. I think right now the violence is just like you say.
Senseless. It's senseless. There's no meaning
violence.
for it.
There's no meaning. It's not like such and such got killed and they took 40 grand from me. You know,
it's none of that. It's none of that.
It's just like such just got killed or they was at Airbnb. You know what I mean?
They had a beef on the mixtape, and it's not to belittle any of that stuff, because I don't think people should be dying.
Exactly.
I just hate when people sensationalize this violence. Because the sensationalizing of the violence, it devalues the property. A guy like you having those properties in those areas, I hate how they devalue. But let's stay on to where you was at.
Pioneer Elite Care is committed to treating each individual with dignity and respect. We take pride in providing quality care to those who require assistance at home. Contact us now.
Excellence is our standard.
Excellence is the rule, never the exception.
PioneerEliteCare.com